Hi everybody and welcome to Inspire Me Monday. I'm Allison Cope and today we're getting right into our project. I have stamped this glorious poppy from Poppy XL. It's one of our gorgeous kits that actually includes a coordinating die. I've stamped it in a waterproof ink today because we're going to be using water-based markers, Zig markers. So we're going to get right into the coloring. Today I'm starting with red, geranium red, and then adding some deeper tones with deep red by Zig. I'm just trying to lay down color on all of my petals to begin with, going into all those little cracks and crevices. And then I'm going to go in with my mid-tone and deepen up some of those shadows. And this is our deep red. I'm using Bristol Smooth cardstock today with our Zig markers. It works really well and allows those markers to blend very easily. We're going to be using some Fine Tec metallic paints shown just above our image today, and that's what's going to add some sparkle to our card today. Now that we've got all of our poppy petals done, we're going to work on the inside. So I'm going to use a yellow green and a light green. I'm just using that light green to add a little bit more depth. And then we're going to add some purple and then deepen it with a deep purple Zig. And it's really starting to take shape. Just adding that deep purple onto about 2/3 of all those little points. And let's add some sparkle. So we're going to start with our Fine Tec red metallic paint. And I'm just trying to touch the edges of some of those petals. And I'm also going down some of the petals where there might be some kind of light bounce back. So I'm just adding just a hint of that red. It's a nice deep dark red, and it's not too orange, so it matches those Zig colors perfectly. And I'm just using a water brush here, really fine water brush, and it's doing the job pretty good. Now we're going to go in and accent some of those inner parts of our gorgeous poppy. We're going to use a Fine Tec blue pearl, and this stuff rocks. Wait till you see how it reacts with the light. It's pretty cool. Then we're going to go in with a little bit of the green pearl to the center. We're going to color up that single poppy leaf, and we're going to use some light green and some May green. I'm using the May green to act as our shadow color, and I'm going in just a few leaves at a time so that I can allow for smoother blending because it's a little bit damp still. So makes for quick work, these Zig markers, and they're a good investment because they're not as expensive as alcohol-based marker. We'll just finish up our leaf here, adding those shadows in, and of course you can go in and add darker shadows if you wish. You can use a darker marker, or you can layer your colors again and again to deepen that color. I wanted to add just a touch of a yellow, so I brought in my yellow green just over top of all those colors. We're going to go in and add some shimmer to our leaf now. We're going in with our green pearl first. I'm kind of hitting all of those edges that are the lightest. Look at that blue pearl on the inside of that poppy. It totally makes it. The green is, of course, a little bit harder to see. It's a little bit more subtle. So I thought I would actually go in with our fine gold, which has a little bit of a yellow undertone to it, and add some more to that leaf, and that makes it pop a little bit better and adds a little bit more brightness too. Yeah, totally cool. So I used the coordinating dies for our Poppy XL stamp set and trimmed those out. Now we're going to create the background for our card. I've got Distress Oxides in Dusty Concord, Wilted Violet, and Candied Apple. And I'm just randomly throwing color down on my piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock. I'm using the same cardstock as our poppy. And that Candied Apple didn't want to cooperate, so I had to go in and reapply just to deepen, darken that red color. There we go. A little bit more ink on my sponge. And I just blended everything with the Wilted Violet Distress Oxide. And now we're going to do some splatters. So I used my Distress sprayer, spritzed on some water, and then just took my paper towel and blotted off all those big blobs. So we're going to also add a little bit of that pearl, or blue pearl, the same as what we used as the inside of our poppy, and a very, very subtle, very, very fine splatter. Just by using a smaller brush, you get a finer spatter. Now we're going to use some Post-it 1-inch masking tape. This stuff works really good for masks, and it's super easy because it's in a tape form. And I'm not being fussy, I'm just hand bombing them down on my paper. And we're going to use some of the bronze from the Fine Tec. And I'm going to make kind of a bronzy goldish stripe to the background. And that mask works perfectly for doing that. And I found that I didn't have enough pigment in the top 3 stripes, so I went in and added a little bit more to those. And the reveal. Love this part. Taking off all of my masking tape, and look at that shimmer. So you have the gold, and the blue pearl is really hard to see, but it's in there. Just some fine flecks. We're going to do some embossing, so I took my anti-static powder bag and powdered up my whole background, kind of placing my leaf because I didn't know where I wanted to put my stamping. So I'm using Versamark ink, stamped a couple of leaves, and I'm using a copper detail embossing powder by Stampendous, and we're going to heat set that. And it's always cool to watch embossing powder melt. And so I have 2, and I decided I needed 1 more, just wasn't quite balanced, so I did a 3rd leaf, quickly put my powder on, brushed off any excess, put it back in the bottle, and heat set that as well. Super quick. Now I've got 3 leaves, and I'm going to pop up my poppy now. And before I do that, I'm just going to tape on that leaf. It just makes it easier to put tape on. So I'm going to put tape on, and then I'll show you my final card. There we go. Thanks for joining me today. I hope I've inspired you to put some shimmer on your card. Have a great day, guys.